the long abandoned Hello, I'm Mary Silla. Thanks for joining us for the news update. The long-abandoned Watom jetty approach on Watom Island in the Rabaul district is undergoing much-needed maintenance. The 32-meter-long jetty, which once served as the main link for goods and services on the island more than 2 decades ago, has been faced with weakening and eroding risk, which has called for urgent response. The maintenance project is a counter-funded initiative under the PSIP former years and PAP funding at the cost of 850,000 kina. The project is being rolled out by Newland Real Estate Limited, work which includes realigning the edge beam of the approach using boulders and pouring in new concrete to reinforce and stabilize the structure. The jetty has been lying idle for years and it has crippled them in terms of accessibility, transporting cocoa, copra, fish and other fresh produce to the mainland. Chief Inspector of Police Limo IST in a recent press conference with Central Province Governor Rufina Peter commended Governor Peter for efforts in launching and facilitating the Peace and Reconciliation Program for the Central Province, starting with her own district of Goilala. Chief Inspector adamantly stated that development will never take place when a community is suffering from law and order challenges. With the recent success of the Peace and Reconciliation Program in Popole in Goilala district, RC is enthused with news of other conflicting tribes willing to lay down their firearms, bows and arrows.
Looking at the Goilala itself, there is no policeman in Goilala district. And I've made an appeal to the CEO for Goilala. I want to have an audience with him.
Furthermore, Governor Rufina Peters says that while her provincial administration and government are looking to conquer law and order issues within Central, they are also looking to address security challenges at the borders of Central and NCD and between Central and Gulf Province. Governor Peters says there is inadequate funding for proper border interventions to be undertaken by her government. The funds they have allocated for a feasibility study will go towards compiling costings, from which they will seek funding from development partners and donor agencies to assist in this endeavor.
Types of risk identified accurately and the types of intervention that's required for that border post also. That's important. What the former governor did in terms of Baltimore, we will relook at that one. And starting with, getting expertise to look at it in terms of technical soundness of the infrastructure itself. And for the purposes, again, for what we are going to use, is it adequate? Does it have to be, so we look at to make sure that it's fit for the purpose that we want it
10 students from UPNG, PAU and PNG University of Technology have been awarded scholarships by Octedi Mining Limited under its 2024 undergraduate scholarship scheme, totaling over 300,000 kina. The recipients in their third year of study represent various disciplines relevant to OTML's work areas. OTML's investment in the USS program, totaling over 830,000 kina since 2007, aims to support high-performing students while maintaining strong ties with partnering universities. The scholarship covers tuition, boarding fees, stipends, book allowances, and travel assistance, and guarantees entry into OTML's graduate development program upon successful completion of studies. China's used its most important political meeting of the year to project economic strength to the world as it attempts to jumpstart sluggish growth. But the economic malaise is hitting China's young population hard and leaving families who dreamed of home ownership out of pocket. East Asia correspondent Kathleen Calderwood reports from Beijing.
Beijing's iconic hutongs, hundreds of years old, they are one of the few reminders of China's past in the capital.
They're now a draw card for tourists who want to shop and get a cheap meal, so we've come to see how the economic downturn is affecting them.
Business is now very average. We're actually losing money.
The economy of our country is very good. It's increasing. It'll definitely increase this year.
This is what the government wants the world to see: wealth and a thriving economy, setting a 5% growth target for the year. But the data suggests more rocky times are ahead. Across China, the property sector has collapsed, international investors are bailing, and the post-COVID recovery has been slower than expected.
It's a political problem, but one that is increasingly hurting families who invested in real estate. Millions of everyday Chinese people who thought they were doing the smart thing have been left paying mortgages for homes that haven't been finished.
With fewer construction jobs around, China's vulnerable migrant workers are facing an increasingly precarious future. While youth unemployment was so bad last year that the government temporarily stopped reporting it after hitting a record high of 21% in June.
The employment environment is not that good. Beijing has its advantages because it's metropolitan.
Give more opportunity to the young people. I think we have a lot of flyers.
Something being felt across all walks of Chinese life.
Ramadan doesn't start for another couple of days, but in Sydney's southwest, the famous night markets have already opened. Normally the event is loud and colourful, but this year locals are asking for visitors to be more respectful as the war in Gaza continues to claim lives.
Usually a time of food and celebration, this year's Ramadan night markets in southwest Sydney have a more sombre tone. Ramadan is a month where followers fast during daylight hours and gather to share a meal once the sun has set. It's a time of charity and sacrifice, a meaning that some locals say has been lost over the years.
This year, no more drummings, no more singing, no more dancing, no more shouting. Just be a blessed Ramadan.
Last year, there's a lot of ministers came here. Actually, most of the ministers came to the shop. Not welcome to our shop. No, not welcome. Not welcome at all. Don't come to Lakemba.
In 2023, the event generated about $40 million for the local economy. This year, many are calling for it to be a smaller affair to pay tribute to the lives lost in Gaza. The local council is adamant it will go on with a few changes, including making lights green up and down the street.
It's just a community celebrating, but also being aware of what's happening.
It sort of transcends, I guess, the subculture of the area to broader Sydney and brings everyone together at a time that's very, very tough.
Green lighting isn't the only symbol of peace you'll find here. Visitors to Holden Street may receive an olive branch. The community has also asked for a prayer vigil mid-month and an area to lay floral tributes.
We want people to understand what is Ramadan is. This year, we need to be more different. more understanding.
A message that the community hopes won't be ignored.
The Port Moresby Corporate Volleyball's first games of the pre-season took off to a slow start with several forfeits recorded. However, new teams have welcomed the 2024 Corporate Volleyball season with eagerness to participate in the volleyball matches played every Sunday at the Tarama Indoor Aquatic Centre. All teams participating have been reminded to comply with rules and regulations set. The corporate volleyball competition is exclusively open to company staff and genuine spouses of staff to participate. The objective of the corporate volleyball comp is to promote healthy living, foster camaraderie among workers, and facilitate networking with other organizations. Additionally, it provides a platform for organizations to showcase their products and services to participants and spectators. And that ends this edition of the News Update. Stay tuned for more at 6 p.m. this evening.